Good morning. Welcome to the Journey of Mela Lifestyle Morning Moments, Madness, and Meditations. I'm Camila Tibbetts, and this is our Thanksgiving meditation. I'll check in with you guys, and we'll come together again on Monday, which will be Cyber Monday for a lot of us if you're joining us from the US. But just wanted to welcome you and just give a quick gratitude Thanksgiving meditation for this season that we're in. So usually we do two meditations, and if you're new or you're just joining us, my name is Camila Tibbetts. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and these morning meditations initially started as a way for me to share my journey to launching my website, Mela Lifestyle. That's Mela Lifestyle, and that website has launched, and it's awesome, and it's a great platform for us to come together as a movement to really talk about what it's like to be in the home. We have blogs on recipes, lifestyle living. We also have curated products that I've curated personally around the categories of beauty and wellness and style and home. So all those things are great. But after the launch, I really thought, and I received a lot of feedback from you, that these meditations have been just very encouraging, very quick. You can hop on and join me morning on the live like you're doing now. Thank you. All of you that are waving and joining. Or you could also check back in on IGTV and see the meditations as well. So, this is Thanksgiving. This is a season. We have a lot of recipes that we have up on our Be Known blog on Mela Lifestyle. Yesterday, I did a In the Kitchen with Camila series of a French apple tart. So that will be up sometime soon. Even if you can't enjoy it for your Thanksgiving meal, it's something that you can, have on the weekends with a cup of coffee. I've been nibbling on it here and there. I saw it when I put on my jeans this morning. My mom used to say, you're trying to put 8 pounds of potatoes in a 5-pound bag. That's one of the things she used to say. So definitely look for that French apple tart recipe coming up soon. And this morning I just really wanted to talk to you about 3 things as it relates to gratitude, and those 3 things are passion, purpose, and promise. So I'm going to repeat those 3 things this morning that we're going to talk about around gratitude are passion, purpose, and promise. And when I think about passion, I think, people are like, oh, you're so passionate. Sometimes I feel like that's a loaded word. But for me, yes, I am very passionate, around what we're doing here at Mela Lifestyle. That, in the midst of my story and my journey, as a woman, as a newly single woman in New York, as an empty nester, as a divorced woman, as someone who's starting anew in so many ways, I am so passionate about sharing my journey in a very transparent way and giving you tools that I've learned along the way of being in the home, of living, of instruction, of inspiration. Sometimes when we have missteps or lessons learned, it's so good that we can pay it forward and share it with other people, not from a place of shame, but to be really passionate about, this is what I learned, let me give it to you. So I'm just so grateful this morning that my passion and that flame inside of me has never gone down to a simmer. In every season that I'm in and in every moment of my life, whether it was my season as a wife or my season as a mom or my season as, a CEO of my other brands and my season as a CEO of this new brand, that passion never dies, right? And so I am just grateful that, the passion that I had 10 years ago, I still have. I have it in a different place. I'm in a different season, of course, but I'm super passionate about it. And that leads to purpose, right? Because we all have a purpose of what we're called to do. And a lot of times, I share with you in a couple of IG lives before how, my Tableside with Camila series initially started at a time like this during Thanksgiving, when my mom passed away 3 years ago, and I did not want to do a Thanksgiving dinner. So Thanksgiving's always a sentimental time for me, and I just thought, oh, why don't we just show how to set the table? And that was the launch of Tableside with Camila. So it's interesting how the things that we do every day are steps toward what our purpose is. Some of you may know your purpose, and some of you may feel like this season has shifted what you're called to do. But I would encourage you and to be grateful that those gifts that are inside of you, they're still there. Our gifts don't change, but our purpose may change a bit, or our course may change. And as that course changes and that road becomes more narrow, we can be in gratitude that we have people around us and we have that passion that ignites us, that keeps us moving forward, right? So what do we have already? We have passion, we have purpose, and we have promise. And there is a promise even in the midst of this unknown period where you feel like you're not anchored, or you feel like what's next. There is a promise, one, that this will pass, right? Like, my mom used to say, this too shall pass. So there is a promise that this too shall pass. And there's also a promise that what you're working out today, and the acceptance that you have today, and the gratitude that you have today will pour over into something that is of great promise for you tomorrow. And so that's our gratitude moment this morning in our morning meditations, right? That we can continue to be passionate even in the midst of unknown, even in the midst of uncertainty, that we can know that we're called to a purpose, that when we sit down at the table tomorrow for our Thanksgiving meal, whether it's via Zoom that we're connecting with family, or over the phone, or we're with the new group, or we may not be able to travel to our homes, our family homes like we used to, know that there is a purpose, right? There's a purpose in the pain. And I know in my life, when I've experienced pain in my life, or when I've experienced like some uncomfortable moments, I could look back on my life and see, oh, like those were stepping stones to my purpose, right? Those were stepping stones that were leading me to something greater. And if I can carry the weight, and in carrying that, if I can be passionate and purposeful about where my gratitude comes from and where my help comes from, it will lead to a greater promise. So I want to thank you so much for joining me this morning on the Journey to Mela Lifestyle. Like I mentioned, like this is our gratitude, this is our Thanksgiving message this morning. We will not come together again until Monday, but I just want to encourage you to just have so much grace for yourself in this period. I want to encourage you to be gentle with yourself in this period and those that are around you. And I want to encourage you that the promise and the purpose and the passion of who you are and what's inside of you will continue to boil over and stir in a mighty way. So thank you for joining, and happy Thanksgiving. Ciao for now.